The Devil Islands. What is the Devil's Island? The Devil Island is known to be the most infamous penal colony in history. This is the place where French people send their convicts and criminals. This site is located 9 miles away from the city of Kourou in French Guiana. French Guiana was and is still today a French territory, but the colony disappeared in 1953. This site is known to be a horrible place. It is also known as the Green Hell. The French people also used the two other islands that are near each other, the Royal Island and the Saint Joseph Island. All three of those were used for the penal colony. The ensemble of these three islands was called Les Îles du Salut. There is an estimate between 56,000 to 60,000 prisoners in these three islands that were cruelly killed by a system called dry guillotine. This island was a living hell, since the possibilities of escaping were few and risky as well. Only 2,000 lucky prisoners were able to escape. The big question is, how did tourism start in such a place like this? In 1965, when the islands were completely abandoned, the French government sent the CNES, which means Centre Spatial Guyanais, to be responsible for these three islands. Tourism projects started in the years 1979 to 1980s. In those days, there was the first hotel installation in the islands. Then later in 1990, there was an amelioration of the islands program, so that the condition of these three islands were presentable, but most in all, attractive to foreign public. But, even though tourism was already happening, specifically the Devil's Island was still not open to public yet. More repairs were made after 1992 until finally in 1999 the Maison du Bagne is open to public and these three islands can be visited. These three islands get an estimate of 50,000 visitors per year. Which are the economical effects that these islands provide to its government? Of course, most of the income that French Guiana gets come from France, because it's still a French territory. As I said before, it's not independent. But the CNES gives a big economical growth. The Centre Spatial Guyanais brings to the territory 25% of gross domestic product, and it employs more than 1,500 people. What are the social effects that the Devil Islands brings upon to foreigners and locals? The social effect that this dark tourism site brings to visitors and locals is that this is a place where inhuman acts were applied. Torture and physical cruelty were common. The island itself was dangerous because of its wildlife. And adding more, this is still a mysterious island, since there's more than 55,000 of prisoners that left their life in this island. The biggest attraction in this island is not the prison itself, or the empty cells, or the nature surrounding it, but more visualizing what really happened. The key here is imagination. The secret of this place is you seeing yourself like if you were a prisoner, seeing everything, the torture, the cells, the pressure. It's different from reading it from a pamphlet or looking at a website or in a museum. You feel it, you live the moment in this island. What are the benefits and limitations? The benefits of the Devil Islands is that there's many people who can actually realize what happened. They really see it. They see the atrocious events, the fear in every man imprisoned. Also, the island is a very beautiful place. There's a lot of wildlife and a variety of biodiversity. Economically, it contributes in 25% of the economic income of French Guiana. The limitation of the Devil Island are that French Guiana is a very poor territory, and many people nowadays just rather go to the USA because everything's more developed. There are many shops, many brands, I don't know, it's a beautiful country as well, and many other excuses. Also, since it's not an independent colony or country, whatever you want to call it, the French government is responsible, but it isn't easy for the government to take control. take everything under control because of the distance between French Guiana and France. Well, the Devil's Island, let's say it's not ethically right, because it shows people how prisoners and criminals suffered, how they treat them, the torture, the feeling inside them, how they had to live day by day, mentally tortured by seeing everyone dying, and it's just not morally right. For many people, it's just not morally right. Like, yeah, the island is meant, like, for you to visualize what really happened, to understand the morals of the French people there, and to understand what truly happened, what the prisoners were thinking, what was going through their mind. That's the key. That's the key. Well, this is the end of this slideshow, so bye. I hope you enjoyed. My name is Santiago Aguilar, and I hope I'll see you soon.